Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Um, I hate when people say, "Oh, let me go check and see if I'm live." Except that I'm going to say, "Let me go check and see if I'm live," because sometimes it just doesn't show up. Here we are. Great. Okay. So, I am going to talk tonight about um, all weight loss related questions. So, whatever question you have, please feel free to ask me. I have a few ladies that I'm in a group chat with. And if you want to be part of the group chat, please let me know. And you should be able to just join it. But anyway, let me get started. Hello, Anna. Okay, so I have a few questions already from the group chat. And the first one, she's 56 years old. She's tried many, in capital letters, many diets. She remembers dieting as early as the eighth grade. And I'm there with you. I did some really stupid fad diets when I was in junior high. She says she's been successful, but then, hey, Shauna, she's gained it back and more. Been there too. So she is ready to lose some weight again. I believe she's got 30 pounds to get just below 200 and then wants to lose another 30 after that. So she wants to know how to mentally prepare so that she won't fail again. That's a great question. It's really hard to believe that you're going to be able to lose weight when you've been trying for so many years and you succeed and you fail and succeed and fail. Here's one of the keys: ditch the diet mentality. Stop thinking of it as a diet, because a diet has, like, as soon as you say the word diet, you know it has a start date. Sorry, this cat. It has a start date and an end date. And usually, what happens is at the end date, when you reach whatever goal it was you were trying to reach, then you quit. And all those old habits sneak back in. So, first off, ditch the diet mentality. Secondly, we're looking at changing our lives, like creating a lifestyle change. Hey, Rosie. Um, and when you create a lifestyle change, then there's no need for the diet anymore. I was just thinking of something and now it slipped my head. It's a bit something around the dieting. It's just totally gone. Anyway, so we're looking at a lifestyle change. So I have this plate, I show it all the time. We got this from the dietitian. And if you look at Canada's Food Guide and even the US My Plate Guide, this is how they suggest that you eat. All of your meals, half of your plate is the fruit and vegetables. Let me just mute that. A quarter of your plate is your protein, and a quarter, oops, and a quarter of your plate is the starch. And it says starch can be rice, pasta, bread, grain, bulgur, barley. One serving of starch is about the size of your fist. A serving of protein is about the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand. And then you fill your plate with half the vegetables. Try and use two or more colors. And make sure that you also have fruit and dairy. Now, according to the US My Plate Guide, they actually say that the dairy is in, oh no, it's the Canada's Food Guide includes the dairy as a protein. But I did a quiz on the My Plate Guide, and it calculated for me how many calories a day I should have, and then it told me what that looks like. So I don't have to count calories. I get to have 1.5 cups of fruit a day. So you know what? Half a cup of fruit at each meal. There you go. 2 cups of vegetables. So you could have a half a plate of vegetables at lunchtime and again at dinner, that could be a salad or it could be vegetables, whatever it is, it could be, you could divide it up amongst, over your snacks. 5 ounces of grains. And this is really cool because diet culture says don't eat carbs. But I'm here to say I have lost 90 pounds by eating carbs. I don't go without anything. I even eat dessert and I eat sugar. So 1 ounce of grains counts as a slice of bread, or 1 ounce of ready to eat cereal, half a cup of cooked rice, pasta, or cereal, oatmeal, that kind of thing. All right, so that you can have the bread. The problem isn't the bread as much as the quantity of food that we're eating. So if you have a sandwich for breakfast and then or let's say you have eggs and bacon and 2 pieces of toast, you've already had 2 of your grains. And then you have a sandwich for lunch, and then you have maybe some popcorn for snack, and plus you had maybe some bread and potatoes or rice, or maybe you had a full plate of pasta, because that's what we do. So instead of having your half cup of pasta, you've had an entire plate full. So if you look at that, now you've had 4 servings of pasta. So the bread isn't the problem as much as the quantities that we're having. And then for protein, it says to have 5 ounces. 1 ounce of protein is like an ounce of seafood, lean meats, poultry, an egg, a tablespoon of peanut butter, quarter cup cooked beans, peas, or lentils, or half an ounce of unsalted nuts or seeds. So I think that the nuts or seeds, I think is the size of your thumb, if I remember correctly. And then again, the protein is your hand. So if you think of a diet, you're going to start and you're going to end. But if you can do something as simple as this, a lifestyle change, then you don't have to gear yourself up to mentally not fail, because you're not going to fail. You are changing your lifestyle. One of the other ladies said she's 56. Her belly is her problem, which is very typical. Hormones. Hello. Middle-aged hormones. They suck. But also added stress can add to the extra weight around the stomach. But she says she works out, so that's amazing. That's great. Working out, I'll tell you all that she said, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about working out. She doesn't eat as well as she should. She doesn't sleep well, and she's yo-yo dieted most of her life. So this is very similar to the first lady. We just got to stop dieting. Don't eat as well as you should. Well, yeah, because a diet is crappy. A diet feels like restriction, and you feel like there's good food and bad food in a diet. And so when you have the bad food, you're going to overeat, because you say to yourself, well, you know what? I've screwed it. I've fallen off the diet wagon. I might as well make it worth my while, and then I'll start again tomorrow. How many of you have done that? Raise your hand or say yes in the comments if you have done that. But if it's all part of your plan, if everything is okay to eat in moderation, then there's no reason to fall off track. There's no reason to do the yo-yo dieting, because we're not dieting. My sister and I sometimes will go out for dinner and we'll order dessert and we'll share it. Does it affect my weight loss? Sometimes. But I'm looking at the overall picture. If I gave up every time I ate dessert, I used to do that. But now I just keep going, which is why I've been able to lose 90 pounds. It's taken 4 years, which is on average about a half a pound a week. I probably could lose it faster, but it would also mean I'd be restricted. I wouldn't be able to have dessert once in a while. I wouldn't be able to have the fried food that I have once in a while. So it's, how bad do you want it? Do you want to change your lifestyle and lose the weight naturally and gradually and more easily? Or do you want to restrict yourself to extremes and hate your life? I have a client currently who had the diet mindset, and we've been working together over the last month to get over that diet mindset. She was starving herself because she felt like all food was bad except for salad. And it was so great the other night. She sent me a picture of her dinner and it looked like this. And she said it felt so good for her to actually be able to eat and to not feel guilty and to know that her body felt nourished. So I wanted to talk about the working out. How many of you believe that in order to lose weight, you have to work out? I'm gonna challenge that thought. First off, the 90 pounds I lost was not by exercising. Well, probably 85 of it, 80 of it, maybe 85. Most of the weight that I have lost was not by doing any type of exercise at all. Now, I have been exercising for, I think it's been 215 days every day, but I'm not exercising to lose weight. I'm exercising to feel better in my body. I'm to be more mobile, to be able to walk, to be able to bend over and pick something off the floor, to be able to play with my grandkids without running out of energy and out of steam. The exercising has helped with my blood pressure and my diabetes, and helped with my cholesterol. And my doctor is attributing all of the exercise I'm doing and the healthy lifestyle change. He's attributing that to why I'm off of all my medication except for diabetes medication. And I'm not on metformin. I'm taking Januvia, the smallest dose possible, and it's keeping my blood sugars level. So working out isn't going to make you lose weight, especially if you're still eating crappy food. It's the crappy food that is causing the weight gain. I know people who do extreme exercising, and then they come to me and they're like, I did an hour workout and I rode 8 kilometers on my bike and I did this and I did that and I still not losing weight. I'm like, no, of course not. Now you're stressing your body out. Now you're going to the extreme. And that's what I find happens a lot with people like me. We go to the extremes. It's either all or nothing, and it doesn't have to be that way. A 1 hour workout, I think I looked it up just a few weeks ago. In a 1 hour workout, you only burn 300 calories. And what happens often is people do the workout and then they're like, all right, I did a workout. Let me go get ice cream on the way home. So now you've just negated what you did. So stop exercising to lose weight. Start exercising so that you can feel better in your body. Most of the people that give me their why as to why they want to lose weight, when we really drill it down, it's because of the things that they want to do when they reach their goal weight. And it's usually things that require them to be active. Well, you're not going to magically be able to go on a 10K walk when you reach your goal weight if you haven't been practicing up until then. So that's what the exercise is for me. I am practicing so that when I reach my goal weight, or even before, I'm going to be able to do all the fun things that I want to do. I want to be able to play with my grandkids and to have the stamina to last as long as they do. So no fad diets, no diets at all. Ditch that diet mentality. You get to eat. You get to eat real food. And if you eat 80 to 90% of the time healthy choices, then that other 10 to 20%, have a little bit extra. Have something. Have your treat. Have a bowl of chips, like a handful of chips. A serving of chips, you read the side of the package, it's 12 to 14 chips. It's not a big bowl. It's not the whole bag. And somebody had said, or maybe I have it here. No, I don't have it here. So somebody had said they find it hard to stop at just one. Okay, I get that. Now, they said that they eat, and next thing they know, the whole package of cookies is gone, or the whole package of bag of chips are gone or whatever it is they're eating. Well, so the first problem is it's mindless eating. The second problem is you're eating it out of the bag. Third problem is you're probably not sitting down, or if you're sitting down, you're sitting down with the entire bag. So look at the package. What is one serving? Look at the calories. Do you want to have that many calories? Yep. Okay. I've decided to have those two cookies, which maybe they're 100 and probably 160, 180 calories. So you choose to have two cookies. Put them on your plate. Put the cookies away, the rest of them. Close it up. Put it in the cupboard. Go sit down and enjoy those two cookies without guilt. Same thing with the chips. Portion out your chips, put the package away in the cupboard, go sit down and enjoy your chips. No more eating out of the bag. We're going to be eating those other foods intentionally. And when you do it intentionally, you're not going to eat as much. Which comes to the next question. One of the ladies said she has trouble stopping. Okay, it was that. She overeats and then she's miserable. So if you have trouble stopping, it could be because you're not putting it on your plate. If you put your dinner on a plate, then you're done. Like, I often will prepare a lot and before put the food on my plate quickly and then put the rest of the food in containers and let it cool. Obviously, you can't put the lid on right away, but it's cooling in the containers. I'm less likely to go up for seconds. Now, when you go up for seconds, realize you go up for seconds, you're now eating an entire meal. You're now eating two people's meals. That was a light bulb moment for me. I always knew that, but the other week it was just a light bulb moment, and it was like, yeah, we call it, oh yeah, I'm just having seconds. Really what it is? You're going up and eating another person's meal. So when you can wrap your mind around that, it changes things as well. So then she said she thinks it comes from having had to clean her plate as a kid. I get it. My dad was the same way. It was like, no, you got to eat everything on your plate. So I learned to not take as much food. Don't fill up your plate and then say, oh, well, I was raised that you got to clean everything off your plate. No, if you have the proper portion, you're probably going to eat all of what's on your plate. But if you're not hungry anymore, you don't have to finish it. If you're really, really hung up on not wasting food, cover it with some saran wrap, put it in the fridge and have it for breakfast the next day or have it for your lunch. But take the small portions, and if you're not hungry, you don't have to finish it. It's okay to throw food out. There's a lot of things that we did as we were kids because our parents told us we had to do them. And as adults, we're like, that was a stupid rule. And I don't want to follow that rule anymore. But it's so funny to me that the cleaning your plate, that's the one rule that we choose to keep, even though we know that that rule is not serving us. So just because it was something that you were raised to do, take a look at that and go, you know what? Is that something that I want to continue to do? And I find those of us in our 40s, 50s, 60s, we're still doing the same thing. Like we're still listening to those rules that were given to us as kids that we don't have to follow anymore. There's lots of things that we don't need, that we no longer do as adults. So why can't you take that one off your plate, as I'm trying to be punny. And then another lady said she's 48 and she's feeling sluggish. High carb diets. So I'm like, I know I said you could have bread. I'm going to suggest that you try and stick to the whole grain breads, not just whole wheat, but whole grain. White bread for me and white rice, they cause digestive issues for me. And white bread causes a little bit of brain fog. It makes me tired. So if I have too much, and there again, it's the too much, I feel it. But also having a diet high in sugar, having soda, um, lots of desserts, lots of junk food, lots of processed food, that affects my brain. And it gives me a bit of brain fog and it makes me feel less energetic. What I noticed was when I started eating, according to the My Plate guide, when I started eating better foods, eating foods that only had one ingredient in them, that weren't processed, I started feeling better and I started to have more energy. And you kind of get to a point where you're like, dang, I have so much energy. What am I going to do now? Which is another reason why I started exercising, because I had the energy to exercise. Exercising also, I find the more I do it, the more energy I have. Um, if any of you have any questions while you're watching, please let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this on the replay and you have any comments, any questions, again, put them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them the next time I go live. So let's get rid of the fad diets, follow the magic plate, and I want to talk a bit about um, smoothies, keto, and what was the other thing? Protein shakes. Protein shakes are okay if, okay, so I had a client who never ate breakfast and she didn't eat much at lunch, if anything. And then by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when she was leaving work, she was really hungry. And so she'd stop at the coffee shop and get a coffee to get her energy back. And she'd usually have a donut or a croissant or something carby. So I said, you need to start eating more regularly. And she said, I just can't eat breakfast in the morning. It makes her feel nauseous. So she started having a protein shake for breakfast. That's okay. But if you're using the protein shakes instead of eating all the time, if you're having, say, the protein shakes a couple times a day and then only eating one meal, you're going to find that after dinner, you're going to get the munchies because you haven't had enough chewing and food. Like, we need that pleasure of eating. We were made to enjoy our meals. So, if you're finding that you're having the shakes and then after dinner you're having some cravings and you're giving into maybe a little bit of binging, it could be because you're having the shakes. So try replacing at least one, preferably two, with actual food. Now, if you want to keep a protein shake with you, so that, let's say you're in the car, you're on your way home from work and you get stuck in a traffic jam, you can feel yourself getting hungry and you know that if you don't have something to eat, you're going to stop at the drive-thru. Then having a protein shake with you is a great idea, or having some snacks with you as well. Smoothies, I would still rather you eat the real food. And if you're going to have a smoothie, don't have a great big glass of it. If you're processing an entire banana and, I don't know, half a cup of berries, maybe, I don't know what else. I don't really do smoothies. I understand that you're putting some vegetables in it and it's all good for you, but when you make the fruit into a smoothie, you're raising the sugar content. Like, it's a different, it affects your body differently than it does if you're eating it. So typically from a smoothie, you're going to get kind of the same reaction as you would if you were having sugar. Your body just doesn't process it properly the way it does when you're actually eating the fruit. So my preference is eat the vegetables, eat the fruit. If you're not going to eat it, then all right, I guess you're going to have the smoothie because at least you're getting your vegetables and your fruit in. But my preference is to eat. Whatever can be eaten, eat, rather than grind it all up and process it. And keto diet. I I hate the keto diet. All and I'm sorry if you're on the keto diet, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm about. I don't believe in fad diets. What happens is people who are on the keto diet, the reason is to get their body into ketosis, which is great. But as soon as you eat something that takes your body out of ketosis, now your body's going to have to work its way back up. I don't believe that a keto diet is something that is sustainable for the rest of your life. Can you do keto diet 100% for the next 40 years? I can't. I like to eat. I like to have dessert sometimes. I like to have a little bit of sugar. I like to have my carbs, the things that aren't allowed on the keto diet. I like to have them. And if I can lose weight and not leave out an entire food group, I'm going to go with that. If I can lose weight and not have to be on a fad diet, and please don't tell me that it's not a fad diet, I don't want to hear it. But if you can lose weight without having to be on a fad diet, then why not do it that way? Why leave out an entire food group when it's things that you like? Again, it's about moderation and eating a single serving, not 3, 4, 5 servings. Not having the great big piece of cake, the corner piece with all the icing because, oh, well, I'm not allowed to have this, so who knows when I'm going to have it again? Let's make it worthwhile. No, just have a little piece of cake. And then the next birthday, you get to have cake again, and it gets to be guilt free. So I hope that these answers have helped you. Please let me know if you do have any other questions. I will try and go live again. What is this? End of May. So I'll probably try and go live again the end of June, depending on what kind of questions come up. Feel free to always ask questions in the group. And if you haven't joined the chat yet, please join the chat. I don't know where you find it. I think there's a spot in the group where you can find the community chat. You may even have gotten a notification in Messenger. I think you have contacts and then communities, and it'll be under the communities tab. But if you're having trouble finding it, let me know and I'll make sure that you're in the group chat. And otherwise, you can just ask questions here. And look at that. We're almost at 28 minutes. I was hoping to be done in half an hour, so we did it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being part of the group and for joining me on the live video. And I look forward to serving you.